That's an avocado. Judy told us yesterday that's an avocado.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to study Sfat Emet. You ever done that before? No?
I may have, but I don't remember.
Let's tell you the history, who Sfat Emet was. The Sfat Emet was the second Ger Rebbe in Poland. Yeah, many thousands of Hasidim. And every Shabbos he would say Torah to his Hasidim. And very often, every year he would go back to the same themes and say it in a little different way. Like every year he developed it again and again. The Sefer is by years. It tells you which year he said which Torah. And like a lot of times you want to understand what he's saying, you go see what he said in a different year also. And what he did was, after Shabbos, he would sit down and try to remember what he said. And he wrote it down. And sometimes it's written pretty short. So like it leaves room for us to try to think what he meant. Let's take a look. So it said like this. Look where it starts. Bamidrash. You see Bamidrash. Ein chaviv mishluchei mitzvah. You see where it says that in the middle?
It doesn't say the word aim.
But look, the page before. Turn it back. Turn the page around. I think. The second column. Okay. So this is a quote from Medrash Tanchuma. Medrash Tanchuma, when introducing the story of the Meraglim, gives a halachic introduction. This is an interesting thing which some of the Midrashim do, which seems like it was based on the drashot in Shul back then, 2,000 years ago, that they wanted to incorporate both halacha and agada into their teaching. So over here they introduced PArshat Shelach with halacha. What's the halacha they introduced it with? That about shluchei mitzvah, people going to do a mitzvah. Okay? What's the halacha? What someone's going to do a mitzvah?
I know what the word means, but how does it fit in shluchei?
Shluchei means messengers. Messengers for mitzvah. There's a halacha like this, that in olden times, the way people used to travel was by ship. And there's a halacha, a person should not go aboard a ship to go travel far away 3 days before Shabbos. If you want to go traveling, leave before Wednesday. Okay? For a variety of reasons, don't have to get into it now. But the point is that the halacha is, if someone's going to do a mitzvah, you can leave even on Friday. A mitzvah is a mitzvah. Now, another thing that the Midrash says is that on Sukkot you have a mitzvah of sitting in the Sukkah. However, people who are going to do a mitzvah, for example, going to redeem someone who's been captured or going to learn Torah, whatever it is, those people who are traveling on the way don't have to sleep in the Sukkah.
Really?
Because they're shluchei mitzvah. And it says, and then the Midrash continues, says, and the great example of shluchei mitzvah is the spies which Yeshua sent. Okay, as you probably know, there's the two sets of spies. The spies in this week's PArshat Moshe sent, which it seems like they messed up, and the spies that Yeshua sent, which were two spies, and they went into the land. They went to Rachav's house. They came back, and it was mission accomplished. And they actually did a dangerous mission because the king of Canaan went out to look for them. That's an example of shluchei mitzvah.
Yeah, but who were the spies? One was Pinchas. Wasn't he Kohen Gadol then?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure the other one, but he was also a Gadol. I mean, these were
great people. Yeah, as I said, so eventually the Medrash was setting up the parsha as saying what good messengers are, and now obviously in the parsha it's seemingly messengers that didn't do such a good job. So this is this working on this theme of being a messenger, going on a mission.
What you just said that if you are doing a mitzvah, then you're putter from, and the example that you gave was sitting in a, can one generalize this? That let's say, using that example, that if one is on a shlichus forbidden shugoyim, one is putter from tefillin or
so it depends. It depends on if there's a contradiction, meaning if it's either or, it's either you go to do the mitzvah you're doing or stop and do some other mitzvahs, so you probably should not do the other mitzvah. But mitzvahs which are just easy to do as you're on your way, so then something else. It does say another thing that says that people who are involved in public needs of the public don't have to daven to some extent, meaning someone's is a public need that desperately needs to be taken care of. So you work on it. You don't stop to daven. You just work on it because you're doing a mitzvah. Okay, now that's another example. Now the question is, how does this tie into our parsha? What's the idea? Hi. Okay, so how does that tie in? Ha'inyan hu. The idea is ki dor hamidbar hu b'chinat Torah or ubaye haaretz b'chinat ner mitzvah. Okay, so like this. There's a pasuk that says ner mitzvah v'Torah or. A mitzvah is like a candle, and Torah is like light. Okay, and he says the generation of the desert, they're connected to the idea of the light of Torah, and the generation of those who entered the land are connected to the idea of the candle of mitzvah. Okay, he's going to develop this thing.
Bechina means connected.
Okay, bechina is a very hard word to translate, but bechina means it's an aspect of, meaning a lot of times in Chassidut, when they're trying to describe things, particularly they're trying to describe it in a poetic way, they say this is a bechinat that, and that's bechinat that. Meaning, it's like when you say it in a poem, you say it was like 1,000 suns. It was like a train. It's like so. In Chassidut, we're trying to explain things which are subtle, so we give a lot of examples, a lot of metaphors. It's not exactly a metaphor. It's something a little different.
It has nothing to do with the test. Like a bechina.
So that's where the original word comes from. Livchon means to check out, to observe. So somehow it's connected to this. Meaning you can observe it in this way. Okay. Kedeita b'Zohar HaKadosh. It says in the Holy Zohar, the Baye Barnash lemiflach l'kutrabichu b'milula uve'uvda. The Zohar says a person needs to serve Hashem with speech and with action. Okay, meaning to say this is a constant pair that goes together. Speech and action, speech and action. Everything we do has two aspects to it. Speech being the idea behind it, meaning the thought behind it, the meaning, and action, something which is actually in the world. And one without the other is not good. That's really where he's getting it. Again, so you probably guess where he's going, meaning the experience of those in the desert who are receiving the Torah is very much intellectual, very much of the mind. And the experience of those going to the land is very much in action. And what he's about to paint for us is how it's so important these two should be connected. I mean, to have one without the other. And also he says, V'ita Gamken, also it says in the Zohar also, Oraita Torah man debay zachava. Whoever wants it can acquire it. Meaning it's there for the taking. There's books, just learning. Okay, there's something about Torah which is free. It's free for all. Aval milin dekaimen beuvda, but things which are based on action, baila mikne ba'agar shlim, those need to be acquired with a full price. Okay, mitzvot, physical mitzvot, have a price. Things which are physical have a price. And from this, people have this whole thing of buying aliyahs in shul because it's a physical thing called it's pay for it. Meaning, there's the idea that mitzvot you have to work on. Either you pay money out of your pocket to buy a lulav, or just you extend energy to do something. Actions require more effort in a certain way. Obviously, learning is also a lot of effort, but the essence of learning is just the mind. The mind is free. Actions, by its very nature, there's a cost to it. There's energy. There's overcoming whatever you need to overcome.
And that's the cost.
That's the cost. Yeah.
Energy.
It could be energy. It could be actually money. It can be fighting with somebody to succeed in doing it. Whatever it is, overcoming shame. There's something about mitzvot which you pay for it. Okay?
Does it make a difference if you pay for it or if you do it?
So that's what the Zohar says. The Zohar says the true way of doing a mitzvah is to pay for it. And then you really fulfill the mitzvah. If you got it for free, it's a little cheap.
The sense of it begins with nothing to do. You have to believe in God and you don't do
Okay, again, so if you follow what he's saying, believing in God is probably related to the first part. That's like learning Torah. The things you have to do. Keep Shabbos. Shabbos costs a lot of money. You gotta buy fish and buy whatever it is, clean the house.
So doing,
yeah. But now he's actually focusing.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm debating whether I should come here or not. Could I have another question? The good Lord pushed me into the right direction.
Okay. Now, so that was the Zohar, but now he wants to analyze the language of the Zohar said this idea. The way the Zohar said this was, Upirish mila the kaima be'uvda. Mila means a word, the kaima, which means stands, be'uvda, in action. So he's pointing out that it doesn't just say actions. It doesn't just say actions of mitzvah. He says things which stand in actions. It's a funny way of saying it. What does that mean? Ki be'emet, because really, otiyot Torah nimtzaim b'kol makom. The letters of Torah are found in every place. The be'oraita bara alma. Uchtiv kulam b'chachma asita. So like the truth is that, literally, words of Torah are in books. But really, it's a lot more than that. And really, the words of Torah are in the world also.
Are in what?
In the world. Hidden in the world. There's letters and stuff inside of everything. There are letters. What's that mean? There are letters inside of everything. He's saying it says that Torah was used to create the world. So that must be, if the Torah was used to create the world, that every single part of the world has Torah in it. And the question is if we can see it. The question is if we can reveal it, but it's there. Okay?
Because the world was created with words, therefore everything created has words, and the word that we use, we're targeting the word.
It says the world was created with Torah. The Oraisa bara alma. Torah was created with the Torah. The world was created with the Torah, which is a really life-affirming type of a statement. That existence in itself is Torah. The question is how we pull it out, how we recognize it.
That means that not only is our neshama from God, what it says with other than God, the reason, right? But even the roof is Torah because it was created with Torah word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the whole being.
Yeah.
So everybody then, every human being.
Yeah. There's actually a Gemara that says, how many people do you need for a funeral.
For what?
For a funeral.
One, the person who died.
But someone's gonna bury him, right? So, but the Gemara, I mean, how many people is considered enough respect? So the Gemara says 600,000, because just like the Torah was given with 600,000 people, so the soul leaves the world, it's also with 600,000 people. So what's the connection? It's something like this, meaning a soul is Torah also. And it's therefore, we've got the Torah with 600,000, now we're giving this person back, so to speak, also with 600,000 people.
But did that really happen? I mean, yeah, God maybe, but the ordinary person.
Yeah, okay. The Gemara not saying that happened, but it's saying as far as what a person deserves, he essentially deserves that. People are not, it's not going to happen unless you're very famous, but it doesn't mean you don't deserve it. Says kulam b'chachma asita. Everything in the world was done was made with wisdom. Gedolim aseh Hashem, drushim b'chavsem, etc. Achen, however, lo kol adam muchan l'mtzo otiyot Torah hagnuzim ba'asiyah. Not everybody is prepared to find the letters. Meaning, just because it's there, it doesn't mean that everyone's ready for it. Iraq b'nei Yisrael muchanim l'kach, v'gam be'eretz Yisrael shehu muchan l'kach l'chtiv Hashem lokecha doresh ota tamid doresh einam mechaled b'yidrisha. Basically, he says the Jewish people and the land of Israel are people in a place that are ready for it. Sort of being Jewish makes you ready for it, and even more so being in the land of Israel, it prepares you even more to do this type of work of recognizing Torah in everything. Ve'ita b'sifrei, and says in Sifrei Shakul Shivat Eretz Yisrael Kol Mitzvot Ayin Sham PArshat Re'eh. It says that the sitting in the land of Israel is like doing all the mitzvot. Ayin Sham see over there, and presumably he's saying this is the reason why is the land of Israel like doing all the mitzvot, because being in the land of Israel helps you see a whole bunch of mitzvot or a whole bunch of Torah which you haven't seen before. So it's very expansive. It's not, mitzvot are limited. This is the mitzvah, but being in the land of Israel, something about it which is allows you to see more and more of the godliness in the world. And I personally, I feel this way about comparing the Jewish experience in Chutz La'aretz in Israel. I feel that there's a lot more focus here to see godliness in the world. I don't know if I can totally explain this, but I feel like the dichotomy of Kodesh and Chol is a lot stronger in Chutz La'aretz. I don't know. That's just like here, like you see that people doing all types of stuff, and they feel like it's holy,
You don't see in Chutz La'aretz, for example, a woman sitting on a bus and you don't see that.
Well, if you go to Williamsburg, maybe you will. But I agree.
But you don't see that. Nor do you see a man on a bus or even with a hammer with a sefer in his hands. You don't even see people with their tzitzis out unless he's a young yeshiva guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when I go back, I feel like I'm a fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
And I could never walk around with my tzitzis out.
Okay. Then he continues. It says, "Ve'al zeh k'tiv, koach ma'asav higid le'amo." The pasuk in Tehillim says, "Koach ma'asav higid le'amo." Koach, the power, ma'asav, of his actions. Higid le'amo, he told his nation. What does that mean? V'hu pirush Torah sheba'al peh. This is the explanation of the Torah sheba'al peh. Shal yidei kochan shel Yisrael b'peh mitgale lehem otiyot Torah hagnuzim. So it's saying, what does it mean Torah sheba'al peh? Torah in the mouth. Right? People translate the word Torah Sheba'al Peh as oral Torah. But he's saying, no, it's not what Torah Sheba'al Peh means. Torah Sheba'al Peh means the Jewish people use their mouth and talk about Torah. And then that reveals new Torah. It reveals the letters of the Torah which are hidden in the world.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? We learn Torah Shebachtav. We learn the Torah. We learn what it says in the Sfat. But then we don't stop there. We say, okay, based on that, what do I think about that? What do I think about that? What about I think all those new things I just met today? It's so beautiful piece of art. What do I say about it? Okay, and now I'm using my mouth, which has been trained by learning Torah, and now I try to expand that and talk about all types of things that I see, and try to clarify good from evil, and try to get some sort of meaning in things, and that's an act of creation of Torah Sheba'al Peh. Again, it's about creation. It's about being creative.
Before you continue, ladies, in this place, I'm sure Rabbi Yonah too, but Rav Shlomo always said, if you had something to say it.
Oh, for sure.
I feel I'm the only one saying anything. I don't want you to feel I'm taking over the place. You certainly can make a comment or ask a question.
Thank you, Michal. Okay.
Well, I'm your Shelach.
Shelach, okay. Very good.
Okay, once again, the Torah shall Ba'al Peh, She'al Yidei
Kochan, through the power, Kochan Shel Yisrael B'Peh, through the Jewish people have a power in their mouth. Through their mouth, mitgaleh lahem, it's revealed to them, Otiot Torah Hagnuzim, the letters of Torah which are hidden.
Right. So the Jewish people are the power is in their mouth with tefillah. No?
Tefillah also. Over here, not focusing so much on tefillah. Over here, talking more about learning. We learn and then we talk and we clarify things. We try to figure things out. That's a power we have in our mouth.
That's why in yeshiva-based language, you can hear everybody speaking.
Yeah. And it's the act of making things into Torah. There was a great leader in the Eretz Yisrael, the Chazon Ish, was used to learn very, very deeply in Big Chidushim. And one of the topics he used to learn was Kiddush HaChodesh, about the making of the new month. There's all sorts of laws about how to figure out when the new month is. Today we have it based on a calendar, but in the times of Chazal, it was figured out each month by month. And there's a lot of mathematics in there. It has to do with figuring out the exact cycle of the moon. And there's a lot of math there. So he was sitting with, figuring out the math, doing long division and all that on a paper and figuring it out. He got the answer. And he had a whole paper full of math. So he took the paper and folded it up and put it in the Geniza, like he does the Sefer. Meaning it's just math, but all this math was now in the context of Torah, of a mitzvah. So it's all these numbers turned into Torah. Now that's just an example how you have the power of turning things into Torah, and you can have this in so many different areas. If I'm learning about the mitzvah, but not being jealous of somebody else's stuff. So if I'm sitting with my friend and discuss, what does it mean to be jealous, and how do I overcome jealousy? And we talk, and our conversation could be really big and expansive, but since the motivation of that conversation was to try to do the right thing, try to do a mitzvah. So it's all Torah, all those places that you went to. It's like doing what he's saying is our power, Torah Shabbat Peh, power of our mouth to find Torah and things. The Zet Pirush said like this. That's the explanation Ner Mitzvah. A mitzvah is a candle. Ki Torah or hu gufa Torah shu elikiyut mamash. Because the Torah is like divinity in itself. K'moshe katuv, Oraita v'kutrabichu kulcha, like it says in the Zohar that the Torah and God are one. The Ner mitzvah hu itgalut Torah al yedei ha-mitzvot v'hu ke'inyan shaliach. But mitzvot are the ways this light is revealed. Okay, it's like the metaphor of a candle holding the light. Okay, without the candle, you have nothing to hold the light. So the Torah is like this is the light. But until you have a candle, there's nothing to hold it. And it says that's like a shaliach. Okay, I tie it all together, tying it the way he was starting off with. Right, this concept of being a shaliach, of being a messenger. So the mitzvot that we do are messengers of the divinity of the Torah. It's in the Torah. It's a way to bring it here. If we didn't have a physical mitzvah, the mitzvah doesn't. We thought about it, but nothing really came here into this world. Okay. Kedeita gives an example. It says in the Zohar also it's a Kabbalistic idea. B'Shabbat Hashem yitbarach manhiga ha'olam ba'atzmo kaviyachol u'b'chol al yedei ha'malachim. It says that on Shabbos God runs the world directly, and during the week, so to speak, He's running it through malachim, through angels. So it's not really the point over here. You're just giving an example of this idea of messengers and angels Hashem doing things through others. Okay? Kamoken, so too, Yeshit Galut Torah de Osed Dvaro. There's a revelation of the Torah through those who do the Torah. Sheyesh Otiyot Torah Gnuzim B'Mili de Alma. There are letters of Torah which are hidden in things of the world. She'ein Yecholim Litgalot Rak al Yedei Bnei Yisrael Shem Shluchei Mitzvah. Okay. There are, like he said in the beginning, the whole world is full of letters of the Torah which are hidden. Okay? Hashem wants to reveal those letters to the world. And how is He going to do it? How are those letters going to be revealed to the world? I mean, it's like okay, there's the Torah that's revealed. That's good. But there's a whole world which is full of Torah which are not revealed. So how is Hashem going to reveal that? So He's not. So He said, the Sfat was saying is Hashem won't reveal that directly. He needs someone else to do it for Him. The one's going to do it for Him. As people who do things, people who actual actions in this world are the ones who are revealing the Torah which Hashem didn't reveal.
So every mitzvah we do, we are shlichus from God to
yeah, no, that's what he's getting at. Meaning, he's trying to frame the idea of doing a mitzvah as a messenger. No, I'm not just doing what Hashem told me to do. It's true also. What I'm doing is I'm, so to speak, helping Hashem further reveal the Torah by manifesting it in a physical activity. Basically, what I'm saying is we see the Torah here too. That's what I'm saying. Like I take some dough and I make it into bread and I eat it on Shabbos. Like, wow, you see it's the Torah in this dough.
When we say we're revealing the letters of Torah, we're also saying we're revealing.
That's what you're saying. The way he's describing the Torah is the way Hashem shows Himself to us. And there's explicit Torah, the Torah, which is our job to make explicit. Okay, so far, what he was saying was a general thing about doing physical mitzvahs versus just learning and thinking. Okay, how is he tying this into the parsha about the spies going to the land? Okay, just read this again. I'll just read the last thing again. Sheyesh otiyot b'Torah genuzim b'milim da'alma. There are letters of the Torah hidden in the things of the world. She'ein yecholim mitgalat, that cannot be revealed. Only through Bnei Israel, who are called messengers to do a mitzvah. V'guf ma'aseh bereshit, the essence of the creation of the world, v'ateva, and nature, u'hanhaga sha'idei shaliach, is God's running the world through messengers, meaning through us. He's telling us, okay, you reveal the godliness here for me.
What does the worship say?
Well, kanal?
Yeah.
That's a very common one. Kanal means kanizkar la'el, which is, as I said above.
This is the first time that I'm saying it.
Okay, that's good. Ubishabat hu Torah or ubimei ha'maseh ner mitzvah. He says this is really the difference between Shabbat and days of the week. On Shabbos, the focus is more on the light itself. It's like we don't do much. We're in the mind. We're focusing on the light. And on the weekday, our job is more to be a messenger of a mitzvah, meaning manifest, get it out there, get it in the world, reveal new things. Okay, on Shabbos, we're not really doing new things so much. Maybe we're just reflecting, we're just being. It's different mindset. We go back and forth between these two.
What did that simple thing? Shabbos Torah or fine. Yemei hamaseh ner mitzvah. How do you fit in ner mitzvah?
Okay, again, sorry. This has to do with the categories he's been setting up to the whole piece. Is that there's ner mitzvah, which is the candle of the mitzvah, the container, something which contains the light. There's Torah or, which is the abstract, the light itself.
If you don't have the candle, you get
you don't have to hold it. Yeah. So in other words, like the weekday is a way for us to hold Shabbos. We didn't have a weekday, and the Shabbos will be too disembodied.
I heard here that Rav Shalom, he said that the Shabbos at the end of the week, the Shabbos at the beginning of the week, and between the two, it's called a Moed Shabbos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, I can read this stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
Particularly Sfat Amos needs to be read very carefully because, like I said before, he wrote it so short. It's just like notes of what he said. But it's if you can read this, it's pretty good.
Oh, right. Okay. The next sentence.
I didn't. Ties him. It says now getting back to the parshas. That was the test of the Meraglim, of the spies.
Nisayon means test?
Nisayon means test, yeah. Like
a negative test, probably.
A native?
Negative? No, what I'm asking is test, and over here when we had Bechina is also one of the expressions there is test too.
No, that's something else. The way the word Bechina means the aspect of. You're right. The original meaning means to observe, but let's not mix it up. Nisayon means a test, like the Nisayon of the Akedah, Kedat Yitzchak, is also called a test.
So it says that word. Correct me if I'm wrong. In davening, that we ask God.
Lowly day Nisayon. Please don't bring us to a test. Yeah. Okay. This was the test of the spies. Kimila de kama ba'uvda, a word which is in the action, kashem odem, so is very difficult to find. Meaning, the Shasam is saying is this whole process that I've been talking about is difficult. It's not easy. to bring out the hidden word, which is an action. Achen be'emet koach Eretz Yisrael mesayeh lezeh. The truth is, as I said before, the power of Eretz Yisrael, the holiness of Eretz Yisrael helps. Achadayin lo haya aita Eretz Yisrael b'chal machat Hashem. He says, at this point in history, it wasn't really Eretz Yisrael yet, because they haven't entered the land. So they didn't really have. I mean, he's saying that sort of they were set up a little bit. They were going to the land, knowing that in the land they're going to have this new job of really embodying, really manifesting all this Torah. And looking at the land, they don't feel anything special, right? And he's saying they were right, because it wasn't really totally Eretz Yisrael yet till they entered the land.
That was the reason, wasn't it? Why God gave them mitzvahs that were dependent on the land?
Well, that's it. There's lots of mitzvahs that depend on the land.
Like Orla and other things like that.
In any case, what he's saying is, he's saying a little thought to stick up for the Meraglim. He's saying is they made a mistake, but it's really not their fault, because they were looking to find some sort of strengthening from the land for this new mission. They weren't feeling it.
Their fault wasn't.
One second. V'zeu shamar Yoshua v'Kalev alon na'alev v'yarashnu. So that's the explanation. Why it says we will go up and inherit the land. Shagam shata'ina einam yicholim l'chavsha. Even though now they're not able to conquer it. When we go there, it will turn into be the inheritance of God. So meaning, basically, what Kalev and Yeshua are saying is, oh, wait, don't worry, we'll go there, and then it's going to be Eretz Yisrael like the way it's supposed to be, and we'll have help. Okay. In short, I'm just going to say in short what he says in the rest of the piece, that there's always two aspects: the aspect of learning, the aspect of doing, aspect of our mind, and then actually, bringing it into the world. And it's not always so easy to finish. It's easy to start. It's easy to think about things. But actually, to bring something down and live by it. That's a challenge. That's our challenge in this world, and that's this process that he's saying of really revealing the Torah. It's only when it actually comes into physical reality. And it says in it, the Meraglim weren't there yet. They were the generation that received the Torah. They were very, very connected to that. Of actually moving into this whole mode of doing stuff was a little too much for them. So that's why they had they found this way. But the thing that he's getting at is that part of what might motivate us to actually follow through and do the things that we know is this idea of what we call shluchei mitzvah. We're like messengers, and Hashem needs us, so to speak, to fully bring out the Torah. And without us, the Torah remains an idea. I think that's basically what the core of what he's saying. So that's why the Medrash starts off talking about the messenger, how big the messengers of a mitzvah are. Meaning messengers focusing on the fact that we're on the way. It's not just doing something. You're going someplace. You're bringing something. You're bringing a message. And that's what the Medrash says. We mentioned in the beginning. You don't even have to do a mitzvah. That way, that traveling that we're doing to bring things out is so important in itself that you don't put aside any other mitzvah. You're doing the thing you need to be doing. You're on the way. It's like it's not comfortable to be on the way. It's more comfortable to say, okay, I know the right thing. I'm just going to think about it, and then I'm just like in one place. I'm safe. Going on the way is not safe. I'm going to do something, because the moment I feel it's myself. The moment I start judging myself in terms of actually doing something, so I can fail. It's not comfortable to fail. So one of the tricks we do is, okay, so not starting. I can't fail if I never started. So I'm just thinking about it, just being in my mind, and that's it. But the challenge is to know, be on the way. Maybe you'll fail, but you're that way we're really creating something new. We're creating something new in the world. And that's a big thing.
Sometimes doing a mitzvah, you can't always do some mitzvah on the snap of the finger. One is on the way. For instance, building a sukkah. You can't build a sukkah, on the snap of the finger. One is on the way to build a sukkah.
Yeah.
I'll give you my example. I want to be a Talmud Chacham. I am on the way.
Yeah.
I don't feel a chasar on that.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, it is not art making a bracha, thanking God, saying what I need, even putting on tefillin, you can do it 1, 2, 3. Well, you shouldn't have 1, 2, 3, but you can do certain mitzvahs quickly, put it that way. Other mitzvahs, it takes a time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting you say that because time is really only in physical reality. In the mind, time is not an issue. It's like you have an idea. That idea is not in time. It just is. But actual physical reality, that's when time comes into the picture, and therefore you can be on the way. That's and sort of basically what's coming out of you is like sort of to embrace that, saying like it's okay to be on the way. It's a very big thing to be on the way because Hashem's sending us. Like we're on a mission from Hashem to wherever we go. Like sort of, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be going someplace.
The mitzvah, I think anyway, Rishinam Tanzanaka. Can't do that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It can take an entire life.
Yeah.
So in other words, the parent is on the way. Anyway, we won't belabor the point.
Okay, thank you.
That it? Holy cow, now we're at 5, 1, 2, 3. Yasher Koach.
What's your name? I'm Yona.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. What is